Welcome to today's Explainer. Every single year, thousands of scientific research papers get published all over the world, and a huge chunk of those are purely psychological studies. Now, let's be real. Reading through all that dense academic jargon, it's incredibly tedious for the average person. But applying the actual findings to your everyday life, that is surprisingly easy. So today, we're taking all that complex psychological research and turning it into a highly actionable daily toolkit that you can literally start using the second this is over.
Seriously, I want you to just imagine for a second having a secret weapon to solve your daily frustrations. Because we all face situations that stress us out, right? Conversations that get super awkward, or arguments that just seem totally impossible to win. But what if you could put yourself directly in the driver's seat of literally every interaction? The psychological facts we're diving into today are so powerful that once you see the matrix, you simply won't view the world the same way again.
So here is our agenda for today. First, we'll cover how to master your own mind. Second, we'll dive into the art of socializing. And finally, we'll wrap up with persuasion and conflict resolution.
Okay, let's jump right into Chapter 1, Master Your Own Mind. We're going to bust some pretty major mental myths here.
Notice this massive number 66 on the screen. Prepare to have your mind totally blown if you've always believed that old, tired saying that it takes 21 days to form or break a habit. We've all heard that, right? Well, a massive neurological study has actually proven that to build a real sticking habit, it actually takes about 66 days. It's like a three-part journey. The first 22 days, they're incredibly uncomfortable. The next 22 days are honestly so hard you'll probably feel like you can't handle it and you'll just want to quit. But if you can just push through to that final 22-day stretch, that's where you build the momentum. After 66 days, the habit finally connects with your mind and body. It just becomes part of your routine. So hey, if you've been quitting on day 22 because it still felt impossible, don't beat yourself up. Your brain just needed a little more time.
All right, let's move on to our next big myth, multitasking. You probably think you're a pro at doing two things at once, right? Well, actually, neuroscience shows that our brains can really only focus on one active task at a single time. When we think we're multitasking, like reading a book while watching TV, what's actually happening under the hood is rapid context switching. Your brain is just darting back and forth at lightning speed. Sure, you can walk and talk at the same time, but that's only because walking is an automatic behavior. It's on autopilot. But for tasks that require actual deep focus, true multitasking is completely an illusion.
Now, this brings us to a brilliant discovery from 1999 by social psychologists, widely known as the Dunning-Kruger effect. Basically, highly intelligent people constantly doubt their own knowledge. They treat themselves like they're below average because, well, they're never fully satisfied with what they know. They always think they can improve. On the flip side, people with average intelligence tend to do the exact opposite. They constantly act superior and wildly overconfident. Think of that one friend who always complains they didn't study at all and then absolutely aces the exam. They aren't lying to you. They genuinely doubted their preparation because they are highly intelligent. So if someone is always bragging just to show you how smart they are, yeah, it's usually a dead giveaway that they aren't quite as smart as they claim to be.
Okay, moving on. A crucial point in psychology is that our environment actively shapes our reality, and that is especially true with music. We all know music changes our mood, but get this, a 2011 study showed it actually alters your visual perception. In the study, they asked participants to identify happy and sad faces on a piece of paper, while listening to different types of music. And wildly enough, when listening to sad music, people actually started seeing more sad faces. With happy music, they saw happy faces. It's a phenomenon called perceptual expectation. When you hear something, your brain actively starts hunting for matching things through your eyes. This is exactly why upbeat music helps you completely crush a workout, while soft music helps you zone in and focus.
Speaking of environmental hacks, have you ever noticed how stepping outside after being stuck inside an office all day just instantly makes you feel better? It's not just the fresh air, folks. Research shows that sunlight actively prevents mood disorders like depression. The vitamin D you soak up from the sun acts as a natural mood stabilizer, literally releasing pleasurable hormones right into your brain. In fact, in countries that get very low sunlight, severe symptoms of depression are significantly more common. Just 10 minutes of direct morning sunlight is a real-life psychological hack that can completely transform your day.
Let's look at one last hack for mastering your internal state before we move on. Imagine you're driving your car to work and you have to deliver this massive, career-defining presentation. Naturally, your stomach is in knots, you're super nervous. How do you calm down? Well, psychology says put on your favorite song and just start singing.
I know, it sounds a bit ridiculous, but singing actually forces your brain to release oxytocin. This instantly and rapidly lowers your stress levels, drops your heart rate, and cuts down your cortisol. You will step out of that car feeling incredibly calm and ready to go.
All right, let's transition into Chapter 2, The Art of Socializing. This is all about how to connect with absolutely anyone.
Let's start this section with a tactic that's often called playing dumb. If you want to make a truly great impression, talk to someone about a topic they are super passionate about. Let's say it's cars. Even if you are a total gearhead and know a ton about cars, act like you know just a little bit less than they do. Ask them questions. This makes the other person feel incredibly smart, confident, and highly interested in talking to you. As that Dalai Lama quote perfectly summarizes, when you talk, you just repeat what you already know, but listening lets you learn something new. Letting others take the spotlight, it makes you an incredibly likable person.
To build on that, we're going to look at 3 rapid-fire social hacks for immediate connection and taking control of any conversation, using their name, mirroring body language, and mastering the power of silence. Let's break these down one by one. Okay, first up, let's dive into the chameleon effect. If you want someone to instantly build trust with you, try subtly mirroring their body language and the vocabulary they use. Notice how they move, how they stand, and particularly catch which specific words they tend to repeat. If you start using those exact same words back in your responses, they will unconsciously identify with you. They'll feel this deep sense of comfort because to their brain, it feels like you are just like them, and they will absolutely love your company.
Next up is the name game. Psychologists state that to any given person, their own name is literally their absolute favorite sound in the entire world. Think about it. When someone forgets your name, it kind of feels like a slight insult, doesn't it? You feel unimportant. But when someone actually remembers and uses your name, you feel valued. So if you want a likable, magnetic presence, weave the person's name naturally into the conversation. It makes them feel important and incredibly comfortable around you.
And this brings us to the sheer power of silence. If a conversation stalls out, or if you get the feeling someone is holding back their true feelings, do this. Ask them a question, and when they finish their short little answer, just stay completely silent and maintain steady eye contact. Human beings naturally hate awkward silence. It's agonizing. So, to avoid the discomfort of that pause, they will almost always start talking again. They'll open up, share the hidden info, or ask you a cross question just to keep the conversation alive. It is a brilliant, brilliant way to maintain control of a conversation.
Moving right along to Chapter 3, Persuasion and Conflict. Here is how you guide decisions and de-escalate tension.
Let's explore a concept called the illusion of choice. If you want someone to make a decision that favors you, whatever you do, don't tell them what to do. Instead, give them options that all lead right back to your desired outcome. For example, if a parent wants their kid to study, instead of barking, "Go study," they should ask, "Hey, it's study time. Do you want to start with English or math?" The kid picks one, feeling totally in control of their own destiny, even though the parent entirely won the interaction. Waiters and restaurants use this trick on us constantly. They'll offer you 2 or 3 specific recommendations. You think you made a completely independent choice, but in reality, the waiter totally guided you to order dishes that are super fast for the kitchen to prep.
So what happens when things get a little heated? Well, here is your secret weapon for conflict. Imagine you're in a group, maybe at a tense lunch meeting, and you can just feel an aggressive argument brewing. The conversation is spiraling, a fight is totally imminent. What do? Just start eating right in front of them. Yep. Psychologists point out that eating is a deeply primitive, highly calming activity. When people see someone eating, their brain unconsciously registers the environment as safe and comfortable.
Building on that exact same primal instinct, if someone is getting overly aggressive or a debate is really turning sour, simply go sit near them and offer them some food. Even just offering a simple piece of chocolate can drastically change the dynamic in the room. It forces a physical pause, makes them feel comfortable in their environment, and almost instantly de-escalates that aggressive behavior. It's actually amazing to think that something as incredibly small as sharing a piece of chocolate can literally save a relationship from a massive, damaging blowout.
Wow, okay, we have covered a lot of ground in this explainer today, from hacking your brain's habit-building timeline to using the chameleon effect and even de-escalating conflicts with snacks. The research is all out there, but as we've seen, the true power lies in how you actually apply it. So, my final question to you is this. Which of these psychological tricks will you take from this toolkit and use in your daily life today? Seriously, try just one out, observe the results, and watch how it transforms your interactions. Until next time, keep observing, keep learning, and keep mastering your mind.